Can you imagine the year I was unemployed, I saw Usher in concert twice and didn't pay for either. I went to Miami twice, Vegas once, LA 3 times. I went to Africa twice. For a girl with no income and I don't have rich parents, life was pretty good actually. Maybe I survived the crash out because I looked at the brighter side of everything. Maybe that's what's gonna preserve me into my next era. Anyway, shout out to my girls and the very nice men who enjoy my company. I am the oldest daughter of a refugee African immigrant family. There's not a lot that can be thrown in my face that will kill me, all right? So let's just start there. This video will give you the step-by-step way that I bounced back from having a full life crash out. If you don't know me, I'm Arshelle Bernard. I am an African wellness baddie here to help you take ancestral practices and implement them into your modern life. And I'm going to tell you how African wellness truly saved mine, okay? So first, if you don't know my story, I had a boutique in Midtown Atlanta for about 5 years and we abruptly shut down. Now, here's what I will say about it. It was not profitable. It was super stressful. And I had tied so much of my identity to the success of that store. I felt like this was my life's dream coming to fruition. So let me preface everything I'm about to say by being very clear about that. There was no way that that store closing was not meant to break me. And yet I feel like I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to really prove to myself that my life is worth more than just selling 1 or 2 items of clothing. I have sold millions of dollars of clothing in my name, right? With my label in it, my stuff. And that's super special to me. But if I did it once, I can do it again. I have the knowledge, I have the experience, and I'm the same girl, just better and more elevated. So how to survive a crash out? First, you have to believe that you can see the other side of that crash out. It was a very chaotic time for me. It was a very humbling time for me. Within a 3-year stretch, I lost one father, I lost my dad, and I lost my store. It was like year after year after year. So it was a really hard time. I didn't have enough time to fully heal from anything. So number 2, what I'm going to tell you is you have to understand that you are going to cry some tears, right? Life is not fully fair. When I lost my first father, when I lost Aurelius, I was like, okay, God, this has to be the most unfair thing. You must be about to show me something beautiful on the other side of this, right? So I told God, this has to be the rock bottom. And then 9 months later, I lost my dad. Clearly, it wasn't rock bottom because I was still healing one loss. And then literally the next time I turned around to go back home to Liberia, it was to bury another father. The last time I saw my dad alive was when we went to bury my father. Ain't that some I say that you have to understand that life is not always fair. You may not see the path because the trees are standing in the way of the view. And you have to hold firm that you are special enough that you will be able to forge your own path. You have to take this advice from somebody who has been through it. I don't know anybody who has been knocked down as many times as I have and has still gotten up. Now, she may exist. There may be somebody who exists who has, but I don't know if they're being as transparent with their journey, and I just feel like sharing it will help you. The third thing is when the store closed, I did a big liquidation sale. I sold most of everything that was in the store during that liquidation sale. I told my community, everybody showed up, people were buying things. If I could go back, that big liquidation sale that I did, I probably wouldn't have done as steep a discount, and I probably would have still restocked some of my more popular pieces before we closed because there were lots of things that people wanted to buy, and we would have had maybe a slightly bigger nest egg if I had the foresight to say, let's make sure that we're fully stocked for this closing. Things that I did not do well was I was still trying to hold on to my same lifestyle, even though my money was depleting or it was limited. I had a nest egg from selling everything, and I was still trying to go get lunch, get $60 lunches. I still had a really expensive gym membership, a Soho House membership. I had all of these things that I was still paying for. You really need to get down to the bare bones. I say eliminate everything and then add them back as needed. So I was paying $300 a month for my Barry's Bootcamp membership. And I was like, this is really expensive. I don't think I can really afford it. So it got cut within the first 3 months of me being unemployed. And I asked around and I found a friend who had a membership at Lifetime, and I just became her partner at Lifetime. So that cut my gym membership in half. Really think about where are the places that you can cut your old lifestyle so that you're adding in things that are really beneficial to you, not out of habit, but out of recreation. You got to recreate a new life, a new experience, and everything can't be tied to the old. I found something that I could do immediately that would give me a quick win so that I could keep my confidence in the face of feeling like I was losing. So I was selling Kamala merch. I thought Kamala was going to win that election. So I was selling really cute crop t-shirts, clack fans. I used my merchandising experience to create merch that I thought would really carry me through January. So store closed in August. I thought I had a moneymaker through January. Well, she lost the election in November. So I really was only selling merch from September and October, but I was still busy. I would have been grieving my store more, but I was too busy fulfilling orders and feeling like I still have a job to do. We still have things to do, right? So did that until literally the day that she lost. And that was when I realized, oh, wow, you really don't have an income generator anymore. I do think that me finding something else to do that had some meaning and some purpose really made me excited. Now, when I look back, because she lost, it felt like an embarrassing thing that I was just selling merch, right? But at the same time, my t-shirt got on Lizzo. The clack fans sold out. So really, it was a good time. So now everything has settled down and you're stuck alone with your thoughts. And sometimes your thoughts can be the meanest thing. So I found something to do that gave me a quick dopamine hit, made me feel like I had purpose. Quickly after that, I was trying to explore other paths. So I was trying to put together a course on merch because I just sold all this merch. I'd made thousands of dollars selling merch. I've sold merch in my store. I sold stickers. $3 stickers made me 10 grand. So I know how to sell some merch. So I tried to make a course trying to teach other people to sell merch. Well, the timing for that was a little bit delayed because I was too busy doing Kamala merch and whatever. It's really good to allow yourself time to explore things. It's good to have a nest egg so that you can explore, find yourself, heal in other purposes. But the timing was just it didn't work. I wanted people to launch merch for the holiday. And I think I launched the merch class 2 to 3 weeks before the holiday. So there was not enough time for anybody to even think about that. So I'll say that keeping busy just delayed the sadness while I still tried to find what was next in my life. And I do think it's very important that you sit down and heal. But for we high achieving, high performing girlies, we don't really need to sit down and cry. A lot of times, let me get up and prove to myself that I'm capable of doing something. And so for me, surviving the crash out, I needed to get up and do something. And the more things that I tried, even if I failed, I knew I could see the needle moving and I was still trying things. And that really lifted my spirits. All right, so that brings me to January, new year, new me. I set a lot of physical goals for myself. Now, I had been finding myself to be really kind of depressed by not having a store to go to. So I wasn't going to the gym as frequently as I thought I would. New year, new me changed all of that. I found my ass up in that gym with all of the new year, new me folks, and I stayed. And I'm still staying. And to date, I'm down about 14 pounds from when I was at my peak depression. Really invest in yourself. I stopped watching TV to go to sleep. I started putting on YouTube audio affirmation and subliminals. I mean, the subliminals, for me, it's just calm and quiet. But I feel like in this world, we're so overstimulated. And in a world that's telling us we need to do more, to be more, to spend more, consume more, it was nice to have subliminals in the background. And then I also made an Afrobeats audio affirmation. If you want to check it out, it's on my channel. I don't know how to link the videos yet. I'm new to this whole YouTube thing, but check it out, called Wake Up and Choose Rich. And the reason I made this was because I used to listen to these affirmations in the car and before bed and to pull me out of bed, honestly. But a lot of them were geared toward men or they were very, very soft. And I wanted something that spoke to my African heritage and also felt a little bit more go get it, girl. You know what I mean? So that's why I made that. And so if that can help you, by all means, tap in. So in addition to listening to the new audio affirmations in the PM and the AM and just whenever, sometimes on the treadmill too, I decided new year, I'm going to put out on my LinkedIn, hey, I'm looking for a job that can help me hone in on my skills. So I decided for the first time in my life, I was going to seek employment. Immediately, a friend of mine from college reached out and was like, hey, I am building a team at my company. And I interviewed with him. I reached out to my network at Georgia Tech. And I interviewed with 2 other people, but I ended up working for the company that my friend who is now, I mean, look, my friends are 20 years professionals in the game now. So he's big dog, as HR told me. They were like, he's that guy over there. So I interviewed, I got the job, and the interview process took some time. But before I got the job, I said, I'm going to get this job. And they said it's going to start in July. So I have 6 months to enjoy, to try to grow myself professionally, to try to see how I can play with entrepreneurship in a different form and way. So I booked a trip back to Ghana because I always wanted to do girls trips to Ghana. I wanted to bring people to the continent. I've loved bringing people to the continent over the past. 2013 is when my first friend came to visit me, and I love to show people all of Africa. It's beautiful. So I booked a trip for Easter to see how I could implement Girls Trip Ghana. I started to work with a travel and tourism company. They organized the trip for I Show Speed, and they organized our Shell's Girls Trip Ghana. And we're actually headed there next week. So I planted the seed in April of last year, and now the seed is blooming in April of this year. So it's actually perfect. I'm so grateful for that. I went to Ghana. I had a ball, met all the fine men, okay, ate all the good food. I got to go heal in the motherland. So another tip for you is take a trip. Get out of your current environment. Let fresh air, fresh energy, fresh routine, let all of that hit your senses. Be the girl you want to be in a different city, right? Like I was like, I'm gonna be a hot girl out here. I had my braids done. I was wearing cute dresses. I was flirting with all the men. I was making eye contact until it was uncomfortable for them. And I went out on 3 dates in 7 days. Babe, like literally, my flight was 10 a.m. I was in the club from midnight until like 4 a.m. Went home, showered, like went to the airport, slept in the lounge. Be the girl that you want to be, because this time is not going to last forever. You're not going to have time dedicated to just you doing you forever. At some point, you know you're going to get another job. At some point, you know your business is going to grow again, because the world, it's cyclical. There's no doubt in my mind that at some point I'm going to start another company. There's no doubt in my mind that I will continue to grow at this company, or I'll find a job that is more aligned with me, whatever. But when else are you going to have some months where it's just you focusing on you? I'll wait, because you never know. You never know when something like that's going to happen. So you want to take advantage of every moment. So that was a big deal for me. And I'm so grateful I did it. So during the time that I was fun employed, I took 3 trips to LA. Lucky for me, I have a friend who lives out there who I could stay with. I took 3 trips to LA. I want to say each of them was about 2 weeks. I was on the dating apps. I was meeting men in person. I was going out to nightclubs. I was brunching with hot girls. I was doing all the things that I wanted to do if I had an LA life. The fresh air, I loved the weather. It was like, get me out of Atlanta. I want to switch things up a little bit. Fun employment time, if you're keeping count, that's 3 trips to LA. I went dirty December, Ghana and Liberia for Christmas. And then I did a Easter trip, Ghana, to prepare for my girls trip, Ghana. All of that travel, and I'm not a rich girl, by the way. A lot of y'all are probably like, oh my God, your life is crumbling. How were you able to afford all of this? To be honest, a little credit card debt, a little help from a nice man who enjoys my company. And then I had a nest egg from selling everything off. I am so grateful for the travel because it allowed me to enjoy that part of my life. Like I said, I always wanted to have a life where I just traveled, where I spent time. I spent a week here, I spent a week there. I just enjoyed myself. I looked up and I realized that even if my life doesn't always look the way I think it should look, like the wishes that I have for myself are manifesting themselves. Not in the ways that I expected, but they are manifesting themselves, even when I'm fun employed. So my last trip to LA before I got my job was in May. I did my final interview. They called me. They said I got the job. They said my start date was July. So by May, I knew, okay, you are definitely signed the paperwork. Like I will be reporting for duty in July. And so I just enjoyed my time. I really just enjoyed my time. I want to say there was one more trip, and it was in June with a nice guy who enjoys my company. And we went to Vegas and we had a ball. Here's the thing, you guys. Throughout this whole time, I am upset because my life dream has been taken from me. I don't know what I'm doing for money. It was a lot, okay? And I was keeping myself busy because high achieving women, when our feet hit the floor, the devil is scared, okay? We got a lot of we want to do. I had to do all of this in order to know that I could do all of this, right? I could travel. And maybe I could travel and maybe I couldn't eat at Nobu when I went to Malibu, but maybe I could get a drink at the bar and remind myself, you are that girl. So I recognize that a lot of people may take from this, wow, you never sat down to heal. But healing looks different for everybody. And for me, by the time July came and I got the job, and I was healing my nervous system by having a steady, regular income. Like, oh my God, you guys didn't tell me this is what it feels like to just know that every other week you're gonna get a paycheck on the same day at the same time. Like, what? It feels good. And then I still have time to grow my other businesses. If I had crawled up in the bed and healed with tears and TV, we wouldn't be going to Africa. We wouldn't be continuing to make the connection strong. So the last tip I want to give somebody for how to survive your life crash out is you absolutely have to believe in yourself enough to just try shit. That's the biggest thing. You have to believe in yourself enough to know that this one situation is not your whole life. My mom always told me, Arshel, you didn't fail. You didn't fail. For me, it took a while for me to truly feel that, but I realize now with this new job that there is such a huge world out there of opportunities, and I'm going to get a piece of that. And the reason that it's going to work even bigger and better is because I had that time to just love on myself and heal myself by doing. And now I have this time to learn new things that I can implement into the next go round. I have to know that the next thing, whatever is next, it's going to be bigger and better, because you don't get to go through all of this. You don't get that sort of foundation. You don't get that sort of life experience and just fall flat. So anyways, I'll leave that with you. Comment below. Let me know what tip or what phrase or what did I say that resonated with you the most, because I truly want us all to heal from these experiences that feel so traumatic, right? Because the truth is we are guided by our ancestors and they went through way worse than this, okay? I think about my grandmother who picked cotton as a summer job, right? Who she left small town Georgia and went to Liberia and started a family. And that was big. That was huge. Her first trip to Liberia was by boat. I think about her and I think about all the things that she did. And I'm just grateful for the fact that in my life, I get to do what I want to do. I don't have to wait or ask for anybody's approval. I don't need a man to sign for me to have a credit card. I started this business, I can start another one. I can live the life that I want to live. And that is the biggest thing that I want you to think about every single day. When you wake up, you can absolutely live the life that you want to live. I want to live the life of a content creator. So here I am in my bedroom making content. All right. Again, leave a comment below. Tell me what your ancestors are guiding you to do, to feel, to experience, what they're holding you through. Yeah. And I'm still trying to get to 250 subscribers. I don't understand why this is so hard. I'm giving away 2 pairs of Pilates socks when I hit 250, and I'm pulling the name straight from my subscribers list. So 1 in 250, you have a 1 in 250 shot of winning. Why not? Just go for it. Hit subscribe, hit subscribe. Wait to connect with you. If nobody tells you today, I love you and I believe in you. And I know you can do all the things that are on your heart, and you should. You owe it to yourself to try. All right. I'll see you in the next video.